future you hate yourself with?
All of this nothingness. I'm not even going to... Well, no, I might be fucked.
Howdy, hi, and hello.
I thought you were going to just roll with it. Okay. Howdy, hi, and hello. Welcome to Fuck! I will get it right one of these days. Welcome to CNC Talks.
Oh, that.
We are your hosts. I am Noah.
I am Cody. Please ignore me putting away my dice. I'm making a lot of noise.
Bitch. This week, this was your idea. Well, a combination of our ideas, but mainly your idea. So we are going to talk about our favorite class and then our least favorite class in his eyes. In my eyes, they're going to be the best class and the worst class.
Yeah.
Which one do you want to start with, best or worst?
Well, we should clarify this is going to be our...
opinions.
Well, not just our opinions, but also it's going to be our favorite to play as, correct? Or do you want to do it as?
We can... These are
we'll
different.
Debate about
These
it.
are different from what I would play.
Okay.
Best, worst class, pick one.
So
I have a lot to say about the worst class, in my opinion. Well, you want to start with best?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll go ahead and go with my best, or in this case, I'm going to say favorite class because I do not look at.
Well, this is
actual,
also one of
stats.
my favorites. So.
Yeah. So it's kind of funny. It's my favorite class, but like Ranto is the first time I've ever dabbled in it. Never played as a paladin before, but I think they are so fucking dope. I just never really thought to make one because it didn't fit with how I like would role play. But now that I've kind of tweaked the idea behind it and stuff, I love it. I love it. I love being able to smite. I think that's one of the coolest features of it is just like, hey, you're like effective, like in battle, like physically effective. But like, I think it's a good balance of physical attack and magical attack, but also physical defense and magical defense. I think it is a super well balanced class. I think it's really cool. I think the spell options are pretty good too.
If you were able to rework Ranto or just restart this campaign, would you choose a paladin?
I would probably... I don't think I would change anything, honestly. I don't think I would change a thing with him. The only thing I don't know. I guess it would have been, I would have changed how early I took cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Because I would have been fighter, then I would have went to paladin, then I would have went to cleric. But it fit with the story, so I was like, I have to do it. Like, it fits. That's pretty much what I decided to stick with. But I don't think I would really... I wouldn't change what he is. I would change the sequence of how he got to be the way he is. That's pretty much all. So, what is your favorite?
I'm going to go with Rogue.
Okay.
I did research last night.
Fun fact, never played as a rogue in my life. Ever.
I think this is like my second time playing a rogue with your Halloween one shot.
Is that what he was?
He was a bard rogue.
Oh.
It was my favorites were either going to be a bard or a rogue.
Gotcha.
Since bards are so versatile, you can pretty much be any class but stay in bard.
See, I never played as a bard because I would not be good with the role playing for it. I mean, I can obviously sing, but I'm not like...
Well, technically, you were a bard.
I was for a while. I was supposed to record me singing those parts too, and I decided...
Yeah, that is true.
I can't play an instrument. If I could play a guitar and say it was a lute, and then I would do like a little acoustic thing while I'm like singing it, I would do it. But I'm not doing that.
Okay. But sneak attack as a whole, fuck ton of damage early on, and it just grows and grows as you level up. Very, very hard to hit, even with spells. Evasion, uncanny dodge, and then cunning actions, early to mid-level, which is already starting to be broken. Evasion, you just half AoE spells, or just take no damage from them. They gain expertise in things, which makes it easier for you to, succeed on your skill checks. Reliable talents. This is at like 11th level. It's whatever skill you are proficient in. If you roll anything below a 9, it becomes a 10, which if you get skilled the feat 1 or 2 times, you'll get 10s no matter what,
Yeah.
which is amazing. Each subclass has combat and roleplay in them, so it's not just dependent on the specific subclass. You can have a support role, heavy, tank, whatever you want. Each subclass has a great backstory capability. Scout, you can just be a part of an old faction and decided to leave because they were doing horrible things to people. Or the Phantom subclass. Old people from the past is trying to help you correct your life. And it all doesn't have to be sad. Mom died. Dad was killed by this secret organization. I must be all angsty. And lastly, they gain some type of ability in each level. Either modifier increase, while sorcerers can only gain... Well, sorcerers don't gain anything in 5th, 7th, 9th, 11th, 13th, or 15th.
So that's your one that you hate the most.
Yep.
Right.
Sorcerer's dog shit.
Okay. So, I didn't mind Sorcerer as much. I played Sorcerer for my friend's campaign. And I think that's what my first or second character was, although I didn't understand spell slots. So I definitely played the character 100% wrong.
Mm-hmm.
So, you already kind of mentioned it. What is your runner-up for your favorite?
My runner-up is Wizard.
Oh, I thought you said a bard.
I was thinking about it today at work, but
polar opposites. This is great.
Wizard, every single time I've been a wizard, it felt right. They are weak. They can get punched very easily and just keel over and die. But spell-wise, they're great. Subclass-wise, they're very diverse.
So let me tell you about what my least favorite class is.
Oh, okay. Go ahead.
My number one least favorite class, Artificer. I think for role playing they might be okay, but like depending on the world or how it works, like I've never played as one.
They're a support role. They're not really anything else.
And I'm just like, man, it's kind of like. I will say Ranger was going to be my number one, but with the D&D 1 that is either just released or is releasing, whatever. I don't really know what's going on with that whole thing. It's kind of weird. But like I know like some of us you can get the PDF files and look at it and stuff. D&D 1 they gave Ranger a boost, which is what made me like it. Like Dylan and I were talking about it and we were comparing it to the old book. I was like, they made Rangers so useful now. Like instead of just like Dylan said, like instead of just like I'm gonna use Hunter's Mark and then I'm just gonna shoot or attack or whatever. Then I'm just gonna move my Hunter's Mark. Then I'm gonna attack. I'm gonna move my Hunter's Mark, and like that's all that you can do for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like some other stuff you can do, but it's not always useful. Artificer, I'm just not a fan of it. I'm not gonna say it's bad, but I'm not gonna say it's good.
Okay.
It's just like, I do want to go back though real quick because I asked you what your runner-up was. My runner-up for most favorite, Monk.
Okay.
I saw that eye roll. I love Monk. I think they are well balanced, but in your favor. Like they are ridiculous. I just think every time I've played a Monk, I've loved it. They are kind of like, I don't know. It's just, they're very versatile because of what are they called? Is it monistic tradition?
Yeah.
Like the way of whatever?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they're monistic traditions. Those are so well thought out. A lot of them. And then also like some of these newer ones that are coming out, like that are not like, what's the word I want to say? I guess not canon. Like they're not official like 5e, but they have like some of the ones from obviously like Critical Role and stuff like that. I don't know if it's actually Critical Role, but it's like things like that.
Third party stuff.
Yeah. Some of those are just so freaking cool. I saw one the other day. I cannot remember what it was called to save my life. And I wish I would have known we were doing this for this because I would have done way more searching to try and figure out what it was. But it was one of the weakest things I've ever seen as far as a monk. But the thought put behind the actual tradition and like how it worked and how it functioned, I was like, This is basically a glass cannon. Like,
is it the Drunken Fighter?
no, it's not drunk. No, it was nothing that was in the books. And
Oh,
it's not
okay.
on D&D Beyond. It's not anything. It was like a homebrew thing.
Oh shit.
But I was like, damn, like this is really well thought out. But it's like, it's basically like, hey, I'm going to pour all my shit into this.
Mm-hmm.
And if I miss or hit or whatever,
I'm fucked.
like, or if I miss and it doesn't like hit and like I can't recover or whatever, like it's going to be an uphill battle. Like he's going to struggle bus the rest of the rest of the night until you get out of combat. It was insane. It was so cool. It was based off of an anime.
Aren't all animes kind of the same thing, though?
Yeah, but I think I was looking up stuff for My Hero because of that one shot you were talking about, or that small campaign, or whatever.
Yeah, whatever I'm deciding on.
I was looking at it, and I just like somebody was talking about it, and they're like, "Oh yeah," because I was looking at how to handle like spells and stuff just to like talk to you about it and get an idea. And I just ended up seeing that, and I was like, "This is crazy! Like this is well thought out for somebody that just." It's like that Pokemon one. Like, it reminded me, I was just like, damn, somebody came up with this, and that's nuts. But,
I think monks can be great if you know how to use your key points well.
yeah. That's where I struggle with a monk. So, my least favorite was Artificer. Your least favorite was Sorcerer.
Yep. I will dive into that whenever you're done.
What is your runner-up?
For least favorite?
Yes. You didn't think about this.
No.
Damn.
I am probably... Didn't you say Warlock before?
I didn't really care for Warlock because it was like, hey, either you do... Is it Eldritch Knight?
Eldritch Blast.
Well, like the Eldritch... Isn't it a pact? Like the Eldritch Pact or whatever?
Oh.
It's either you do Eldritch Pact or else you just like...
Do nothing.
Not really nothing, but like you would have to be like heavily reliant on, or not reliant, but you would, how do I want to say this? You would almost have to just be like so minimal with what you do.
Mm-hmm.
From all the things I've seen, at least, I very rarely see people play I wanted to say wizard, but yeah, a warlock and actually like do awesome at it. Like Megan does pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen a couple people who like do it like professionally that were like, or not professionally, but you know what I mean, that were more popular on like podcasts and stuff, and they've done it pretty good. But like I always see, I'm trying to look up what it is. What is it? Is it Hexblade?
Hexblade Warlock that has a weapon that does everything.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. So it's Hexblade. One of the genie ones, I know. Those can be pretty cool every now and then. But I feel like some of the other ones are like kind of lackluster to me.
Yeah.
I'd have to do a lot more research into it, but yeah, that was one of my ones.
I tried dipping my toe into Warlock. We did that randomizer of a Warlock.
Yeah.
Which seemed kind of cool, but if you look into it, you're either boosting up your Eldritch Blast or boosting up your Familiar.
Yeah, and that's what, like, some of the familiar stuff is okay, but I don't know. I don't really care about the familiar part of it either. That's where it kind of bothers me.
If you love having a pet with you at all times, or having a mini companion to help you in combat, sure, do it. Have fun. But it's not always the best thing, in my opinion.
Sorry, I was looking at what level I needed for this next thing I was gonna say.
Okay.
For my runner-up.
What?
Wizard.
For worst?
Yes.
How?
It fucking sucks until like level probably like 6 or 7. It's got such a limited amount of spells. Dude, I can't tell you how many times I've played a wizard. I've sat there and we're in the middle of an intense battle. And I'm like, looks like I ran out of spell slots, so I'm just going to fucking hit it with something. Like, there was one point, I made a wizard one time. And it had like a ton of darts. And I just threw darts at something for a long time. Because I was like, I had to fight like 7 different things. And then all of a sudden, like, this big thing came out. And it was like, it was a while ago, so probably partially my fault because I probably wasted my spells in some ways that I didn't have to. and I probably could have like accessed some more cantrips, you know what I mean, and like structured my spells a little better.
Yeah.
But like I just get so, I don't know. Sometimes I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, like some of these spells are not good until you get higher. But I will admit, if you start out at like level 5, you can do it. It's awesome. Like I think it would be great. But if you start out from level 1 and play a wizard, I would hate it.
Level 1 and 2 are kind of the roughest points for wizard, since you're the weakest.
I think
you are the weakest player in there, other than Sorcerer. Sorcerers are dog shit. I will get into that a bit later.
Because you don't even get a 3rd level spell slot until 5th level.
Yeah, I know.
That's why. I'm like, you're pretty much like not useless. You're in no way useless as a wizard. But I think for having such a massive lack of like physical, like resilience and physical damage, it is really hard to play an early wizard and not be frustrated and not be like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Well,
I thought of doing like a wizard and like trying to figure out a way to work it with an archer where I could like be like cast spells and then shoot and not be close up, where I'm like, hey, you're gonna like fuck me up from like point blank range. I was actually gonna look into that tonight because this brought it up in my head, and I was like, I wonder if I could like make a wizard class where it's like, hey, it's really good in the beginning, but then after that you just put effort into wizard and you don't have to worry about your other class. It's like a backup.
Wizard, though, I know it doesn't really come up a lot in this campaign, not really much in other campaigns that I've seen, but you're able to copy down spells. You're able to copy any kind of spell into your book and cast it as long as you prepare it, which no other class can do that.
Oh, yeah.
The only classes that can choose from their own divinity would be Cleric, Paladin, and then there's another class that you're able to choose any spell from that class and just prepare them for the day. Wizard, you get to choose your spells that you have, but you're able to gain more just by finding a scroll on the ground or going to a library and being like, hey, where are some of your spell books? I want to try and learn some more. Now, whatever level you're at, you are now able to cast that, which I had a character that I wanted to do was a Lizardfolk Wizard Cleric. This was going to be for our Curse of Strahd campaign. Buffy, spellbound, but can also take a hit. Blade singing wizard with the Grave Domain Cleric. Mwah,
Wizards go off intelligence, right?
Yes.
That's what I was wondering. I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, you just hate the intelligence stat. Because that's the same thing with Artificer. They go off of intelligence.
I never thought of that, but no, not really. I think they're just fucking pussies. Like, just to put it plainly. I have a lot of trouble with, like, I always like playing beefy things. Like, I've never played a barbarian, but I really want to play one. I played a bard for a short amount of time in this, obviously. My first character ever was a cleric. That was a terrible idea because I picked a healing cleric. And I was purely support and did nothing, like, at all. I lied.
Druid?
I fucking hate Druid.
Why?
I hate Druid before...
Level 3? Level 2?
No. I hate it. Like, I think Krista's version, like the Circle of Spores and stuff like that, is awesome. I don't give a fuck about having control over animals. I don't. I've never really seen anybody use, like, animals effectively as a druid. Like, in some role-playing situations, yes. But, like, there's what was it? I think the level cap or the challenge rating cap is a little bit wonky with, like, what you could do. Because I'm like, can I at least turn into something effective like a bear? And you're like, maybe a dog. But that's all. Or, like, you could be, like, a house cat. Not like a jaguar, but like a house cat. And I'm like, I don't care about this class anymore. Like, it's just, I think sometimes that challenge rating stuff is a little bit weird. I completely forgot about druids.
If you want to go the route of having bigger beasts, controlling that more, everyone goes for the moon.
What do you mean?
The moon subclass, where it just only focuses on the wild shaping.
Yeah.
While every other class focuses on other things.
I just thought of it. I was like going past it on my phone, and I was like, I hated playing as a druid. But then again, that was whenever I didn't really know much about it either. So
yeah. What else?
I hated ranger, but with D&D 1, I think it's pretty dope. Before, like Dylan said, you are like very limited to what you can do, like within reason. I mean, like there's certain circumstances where, yeah, a ranger might be able to handle something perfect, but like in D&D, how often do you actually like track something? It depends on your campaign. How often do you like the actual role-playing stuff for it? It really depends. Like, it's not well balanced, in my opinion, the way that, like, other characters are. Where it's like, hey, I can roleplay with this, but I can also, like, hold my own in battle. With a ranger, it's like, everybody's just like, shoot him with your bow. And I'm like, at that point, I'm just going to take fighter and then go archery. And then probably head towards, like, arcane archer or something. Like, I don't really, I don't know. I always look at Ranger and I'm just like, I might as well just do this though, because it's just the same thing but better. Like it's just better.
Yeah.
I really think I would like to try a rogue sometime. With you talking about all that stuff with a sorcerer, you kind of made me see that it's like I played a sorcerer and it was cool, but
hold on.
Go ahead.
All right. Anything else before I dive into this shit class?
Are we counting Blood Hunter?
No.
From Critical Role?
I don't. I never played it. I never saw it. I didn't really care for it.
It looks fucking cool.
All I know is that one of them is playing a lycanthrope at this very moment.
Is that like a werewolf?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One of them is like lycanthrope.
That's
blood,
cool.
Whatever. Which, yeah, it is kind of cool. But here are the reasons why Sorcerer fucking sucks. Meta magic is terrible. You barely get any meta magic choices, and the only ones that pretty much everyone chooses are Twinned and Distance Spell. Am I right?
Pretty sure that's what I chose.
Exactly. When you get others, no one ever fucking uses them. Because I was in a campaign with my brother and his friends. All he used was Twin Spell. That was it. He Twin Spelled Fireball and that was it. Which is cool. Pretty neat, but that's it. That's all he does. They added in 2 more, but they're useless unless you multi-class. You only get spells when you level up. And whatever you choose when you level up, that's what you get. You can't get any other spells on like Wizard, Cleric, Druid, Paladin. Wizards can write in a book and gain those spells, while others, Cleric, Druid, and Paladin, they gain all of them and can change them after a long rest. Sorcerers are only good by multi-classing. By themselves, they're kind of useless. Most of the sorcery abilities in subclasses can be obtained from feats, races, and other classes at sooner levels, or with other abilities with it.
You are ruining my life right now.
Hold on. The only interesting subclass, in my opinion, is the wild magic, but it's meh. Make it easier to lean into the wild magic portion. Don't just say, hey, here's a huge part of this subclass, but let's try not to get that. Let's try not to make you have a wild surge. It has a very limited to backstory-wise that I can think of. Your powers can come from an overworldly god, your parents were very magical, demons or devils, cursed your parents, and now you have magical powers when you were born.
That is kind of true. Yeah.
That's it.
I always thought of Warlock like that, but it's kind of...
You make a deal with some type of patron.
I know, and that's what I'm like. I think as far as backstory, I think that's what it is. Warlock and Sorcerer are both pretty slim pickings.
Now, I'm going to go through a couple of the subclasses and some of their abilities. Aberrant Mind. It has the ability Telepathic Speech. They're able to choose one person in like a 60-foot area and talk to them telepathically for 2, 3, 5 minutes, and then it dispels.
Yeah.
Ghostwrite Halfling has that as a race, and they're able to talk to whoever in 30 feet whenever. The Great Old One Warlock at first level has telepathically can talk through their mind. The Telepathic Feet and Kalistar. Kalistar are pretty much psychic-based alien people where they're resistant to psychic damage, which is also an aberrant mind as a race, and they're able to talk telepathically. Divine Soul, overworldly wings, Aarakocra, Asmar, Outling, Fairy, Wing and Tieflings, and spells can make you have wings at first level, while this one takes until level 6. No, level 11. Sorry. Draconic Bloodline, Draconic Resilience, and Elemental Infinity. Dragonborn. Lizard Folk. Dragonborn, you get to breathe and you gain resilience to that damage. Lizard Folk, they gain that 13 plus your dexterity base natural armor. Turtle, their normal armor is 17. Elemental Adept, you're able to fucking have resistance to some type of damage, and spells do the same exact thing. Shadow Magic. Oh, this is the fucking worst subclass in my opinion. Strength of the Grave. Whenever you take damage and you're about to hit 0, you have to make a DC 5 plus how much damage you took. And if you defeat that saving throw, you come back with 1 hit point. That's a half orc, my guy. And after that is done from the Strength of the Grave, it goes away until a long rest. Same thing as a half orc. And Mastery of the Death Monk. That's at 11th level, but anytime you go down to 0 hit points, you can use a key point to come back as 1.
Is that, what is it?
Shadow. No. Long Death.
Way of the Long Death?
Yep.
That's the one that I am for
exactly.
The one shot.
And they can do it as many times as long as they have key points. Hound of Ill Omen, Find Familiar, Ranger, which is most of its subclasses where you gain a familiar for a short amount of time, and spells. Find Familiar spell. Create or conjure different elemental beings or minor elemental or fey creatures or whatever. Shadow Walk. Monk. Way of the Shadow, 6th level, while this one takes until level 11. Storm Sorcery. Tempest Magic. You can get the mobile feat or any of the flying races, which does Tempestuous Magic is where after you cast a spell, you're able to move 10 feet in a direction without taking opportunity attacks. That's the mobile feat where you can just not take opportunity attacks as long as you attack a person. Flying races, you can fly. Heart of the Storm, that's just pretty much a weaker version of the Cleric, Tempest Cleric. There's one more, there's a Clockwork Soul, where the first ability is whenever you take a bonus action where you're able to, whenever you roll a d20, if you roll a 9 or below, it becomes a 10. But it's just a bonus action and it's 1 roll. While Inquisitive Rogue, 1st level, if you are making a deception or persuasion check, that automatically goes to a 10. And there's one more. It's a type of wizard. I don't remember for sure. But the same thing. It's some type of charisma check and something else. It'll make it an automatic 10 if it's below a 9.
That's so wild.
Everything about the Sorcerer is just a weaker part of different classes, feats, races, and more. The only thing, in my opinion, that was good is the Clockwork Soul, the last ability. I don't remember what it is, but it seemed probably the best out of everything else. I rest my case of how the Sorcerer is dog shit.
Okay, fuck you, Noah.
What?
Nothing.
Did I convince you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty good.
All right. I did my research last night, kids. Do your research. You'll convince people.
I fucking hate it.
I stayed up till almost 1 o'clock to make sure got everything
level.
right. Pick a level? Let's say 7.
So it'd be level 5.
Why?
Because
What are you doing?
I just wanted to put a template in for a character. We were talking about it, and
What? What character?
I will have to see. Like, I'll look at spells and stuff. But it's an Owlin,
Yeah.
a wizard rogue.
Yeah.
That would make him super useful in the beginning, and then when he gains his spells, fuck a rogue. I mean, you can still have sneak attack and stuff, and it's always going to be useful.
Will never be a sorcerer.
No.
Only if you multi-class, which is where it's okay. Like where 2 of our other players are multi-classing that are part of sorcerer.
Who?
Which Megan, which is a
Warlock
sorcerer.
Oh, I didn't know she was a sorcerer.
And Dylan, which is a paladin sorcerer.
I did not know he was a sorcerer. I thought he was paladin something else, not a sorcerer.
Mm-hmm. It's good with other specific classes, but by itself, it's not good at all.
Yeah.
Warlock Sorcerer is great because the only good part about Sorcerer are the sorcery points. We are able to get rid of a spell slot, put it into sorcery points, or vice versa.
Yeah.
That's the only good thing about it.
Yeah, it gives you a lot of leeway with your... Or a lot of like,
Buffer?
versatility with your spell slots.
I was gonna say buffers, so you're not a dumbass and just start slinging
I'm
spells.
still a dumbass. It's still pretty bad. So, anything else?
I'm proud of myself.
I wish I could have had time to prepare for this a lot more. So,
Hell yeah.
but I'm excited for D&D 1. See what happens with all the changes and stuff. I think what we'll have to do, maybe we'll look into that and maybe do an episode on that.
Like a discussion or like
like on what the differences are.
Oh, dude. That was an idea of what we were wanting.
Hell yeah.
Something that I wanted to do.
We're going to have to prepare big time for that. So
yeah.
It probably won't be anytime soon. But plus I want to see what else, like if anything more comes out or anything. So
after, I believe, every 3 to 5 months, they'll put in 3 more classes, change some of the rules around. They're trying to make it where everyone is happy, which is a good idea. Their first wave of like, hey, this is D&D 1. They did not think it through very well. The second wave is better. I think by the time they're like, okay, I think we can actually start creating it, I think it'll actually be kind of good.
Yeah. Once they work out the kinks. So, all right. You good?
Oh, yeah. I'm fucking dandy.
All right. Take it away. Or are you going to record that separate?
Noah? Put in the outro.
Insert montage.
Adios, see you later, and goodbye, everyone. I hope you enjoyed that episode of Creatures and Cantrips. I must give credit where credit is due. Kaylin DeShong played Sadis Falcon. Jacob DeShong played Aaron/Vezrin. Cody Bush played Ranto. Dylan Daugherty played Tim. Megan Foster played Cathriel Ron. Krista Bush played Frondosa. And myself, Noah McCoy. I am the DM. Special thanks to Poor Man's Poison that is allowing us to use their music for the next foreseeable future. You can check them out on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, everything. They have their own website at poormanspoison.net, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and their TikTok at Poor Man's Poison. You can check us out on Instagram and Facebook at Creatures and Cantrips to see when the next episode has been uploaded or any news announcements pop up. We also have a Twitter. You can find us at Creature Cantrip. That is all one word and the C's are capital. If you enjoyed any of the episodes that have been out so far, please like, share, comment, subscribe, rate us 5 stars, follow us. Anything helps us to let this channel grow. The next episode will be out in 2 weeks, if not sooner. Have a good night, guys.
Are we the good people?
Yeah. We're always gonna be the good people.